Today, I'm going to teach you how to make homemade chicken soup with homemade dumplings. And here we go. Okay, I'm going to start out with 4 chicken legs. And then I am going to add probably a tablespoon of salt. I know that sounds like a lot, but then I'm going to probably add a teaspoon of parsley. And then I'm going to add some celery seed, probably a half a teaspoon of celery seed, and probably a half of a teaspoon of pepper. Couple of my bay leaves, if I can get them out of the bag. And my Kikomen soy sauce. I use this in a lot of my cooking. Okay. I'm going to put a lid on that, and I'm going to boil that for about an hour, and I'm going to start on the noodles. While my chicken is boiling, I'm going to whip up some homemade egg noodles. I'm going to take a cup of flour and about a half a teaspoon of salt. Work that in. And then I'm going to take 1 egg, put that in the middle, and I'm going to just start working that egg and incorporating that into my flour, like so. I made these with my little granddaughters in the Netherlands, and they loved it. Just keep working it in. You want it to be kind of a little bit of a tough batter, because you're going to roll it out, you're going to let it dry, you can hear my chicken over there. You know, I am going to add just a splash of water. Some recipes called for water and some didn't, so this one seems like it's a little too dry. Just keep working it in. All off your hands. And then what you want to do is start rolling it. You want to roll it as thin as you possibly can. A lot of people have machines to do this, but you're making them homemade, they don't have to be perfect because they're just going in the soup. Well, there went some of it. You want it to be kind of tough like this. Believe it or not. Just get it as thin as you possibly can. Because I'm gonna, after I get this rolled out, I'm only making enough for myself. You can make a huge batch of this if you want. I just want to get them thin enough for egg noodles, you know? I don't want it to be like a dumpling. If I had a machine, it would be a lot easier, but I don't. Good old-fashioned elbow grease. I'm getting there. Like I said, this is not a tender dough. It's kind of tough because it's dry. Okay. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let this set for maybe like a half hour and let it get good and dry before I cut it. While I'm waiting on the chicken, I'm gonna go ahead and get my carrot, celery, and onion cut up. That's what you want for a base for any of your soups, is you want celery, carrot, and onion. That is the trick. And what I'm going to do is, after I pull the chicken out, I'm going to put in my veggies. I'm using a large regular onion here, not a sweet onion. For soup, you want the hotter onions. So I'm letting my noodle dough dry for probably a half hour, and then we're going to cut that. You always want a lot of onion in your soup. Onion just really, really brings out the flavor in soup. Glad I used this one. It looked like it was starting to spot I didn't like there. You want to kind of cut this up semi fine, between fine and coarse. You don't want a big chunk of onion in your soup, I don't think. That should be good. I want that. Okay. So as soon as my dough has sat for about, I got my celery, carrot, and onion all ready. And I'll get back. Okay, it's been about a half hour since I did these noodles. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to cut them gently so I don't wreck my countertop. I wish I had a pizza cutter. That would actually be the best thing. just kind of noodle width. Like so. I don't even know if I'm going to use all these for my soup because it might be too much, but these things, I probably wouldn't keep them in the freezer. I probably would, I mean, in the pantry, although you probably could. I think what I would do is freeze them if I'm going to keep them, because you never know with egg, you know. Yeah, if you had a pizza cutter, which I do not have, that would be the way to go with these. But I'll tell you, kids, especially with the pizza cutter, would love to do this. Always have your kids in the kitchen. My mother wanted everything just so, and so she'd never let me in the kitchen. And I think that that's why I love to cook so much, is because I always wanted to learn, and she did not really want me to. She wanted everything to be perfect. She was a wonderful mother, though. I couldn't ask for a better mother. So what you want to do, you want to just kind of break these up and let them dry, even for a couple hours. And there you have it. You have homemade egg noodles, like so. And I'm gonna let these dry. My chicken has another, probably, but see, that's what you get. Just like that. Doesn't get any better than that. So I'm gonna let my chicken get done boiling, and then we'll build it. I'll see you in a minute. Okay, I've been letting these legs boil for about an hour and 20 minutes. And they look pretty done. And what you want to do is take them out. You always want to use chicken with bone, because you want that good bone broth. And you always want to make sure you get all the bones, because you do not want anybody choking. Look at that beautiful bone broth. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to put in all my veggies, and I'm going to let that boil for probably 20-30 minutes. And in the meantime, my nice egg noodles are drying, and that's what you want. And there you go. So I'm going to let the chicken cool off, and then I'll take it off the bones. And I'm trying to sell my house here in Florida, and I wish someone would come through right now because it smells so good. My brother thinks I'm crazy that I want to move back to Michigan, but I want the 4 seasons again. But anyway, I'll get back with the soup. Okay, my veggies are looking pretty good. And let me see. Yeah, they're looking good. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my egg noodles. Just like so. And I'm going to boil those for probably right around 10 to 15 minutes. And I've got the meat all taken off the bone. It's amazing how much 4 legs will give you, but I'm going to put that back in, and I'm going to let this cook. Look at that beautiful soup. I'm going to let this cook for about 10 more minutes, and I'll be back. Okay, I've been letting my soup cook for I let these egg noodles cook for 15 minutes. They weren't quite done yet. And now I'm going to dish up my soup if I don't get it all over the place. Look at this beautiful soup. Oh my gosh. Beautiful, beautiful soup. Let me show you what we got here. Look at that delicious homemade egg noodle soup. And what's nice about this is it's usually everything you have in the house. You don't have to go out and get anything. That's how I like to cook. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. And remember, there's nothing you can't do if you put your mind to it. And love the Lord with all your heart. Bye now.